Legacy co-creators, Lilou here. I'm still in Copenhagen with Nana. So good meeting you. I'm so excited. You have a great personality, and thank you for the work that you do. We just talked together about the hand analysis, and this morning I had really a black hand. I didn't know if I could get rid of it actually, but we did my fingerprints.
Yeah, we did.
And in a few hours, in your own time, in between interviews, you have been able to analyze this. And so this is a personal reading because I just want to show, I want to, open this whole thing up and just demystify it, and so that you can see that this is just an hand analysis, and yet this is a hand analysis. Yeah. So thank you for opening up your work like this. And
So what I did was that I went to Lilou and made her, or we together we co-created her, her fingerprints on paper, and we also took prints of her hands. And
so it was all fingers.
What I normally do is that I send out ink sheet and wipers and these papers to people, and the
wipers are super important.
Yeah. And then they return it to me by mail or by scanning them in large files, and then I start my analysis. Mm-hmm. And what I did for you today is a fingerprint analysis. I analyzed the prints on your fingertips to find your life purpose, your life lesson, and your life school. Uh-huh. And on the other video, we talked a bit about the life school, and you are actually in 2 schools at the same time. So when you decided what class to be in, there was 2 places where you thought, okay, here I really want to learn something. And the first one is School of Love. School of Love is all about emotions. It's all about connectedness, that we connect as humans on Earth in this tribe called human beings here on this planet. But first of all, that we connect with our own inner emotional life. So what this school asks us is to become emotionally authentic. Yeah. It asks us to be able to be vulnerable. So it's this balance between being vulnerable or being invulnerable. Yeah. Because when we are invulnerable, or when we it actually feels like we have an emotion, and it feels a bit like more than we can handle. So we kind of stuff it. Yeah. And when we continuously stuff something, it ends up in explosions. So it's this balance between stuffing away and exploding emotionally that for us in School of Love that we have to find. Yeah. And what we gain when we find it is this this capability of being with life and with all the emotions around us everywhere we go.
And being free. Yeah.
And that makes us capable of connecting to other people. Yeah. And then you also have you're also in School of Wisdom.
It's complicated. Yeah. 2 schools.
Yeah, you could combine them and talk about what you like to learn from your school, or the ground tone in your life is kind of wise loving, or love wisely. To be able to find out when to expose yourself emotionally and when not. And then because you have the wisdom part, you're very curious in life. There the ground sentence could be, well, if we can't become more wise on us as a tribe here on Earth while we're here doing all these crazy things, there's not much fuss about being here. So you have this inner drive of knowing. And the big challenge for School of Wisdom people is to not stay there where they know, but actually commit. So not keeping a door open in every second of your life, so you can actually run away, but actually say, hey, this is what I stand for. Yeah. This is my take on life. Yeah. Mm?
Super.
Yeah.
Yes. It's talking to me.
Okay, that's good. And do you want to know your life purpose? I have this disclaimer every time I tell people about their life purpose, that having one is not the same as living one. And you can also experience, because what we're talking about here is in your fingertips. Those doesn't change on a life scale. The rest of the hand do. But you, because it's on a life scale, you can have the experience that in one area of life, you are actually in your life purpose. And in another area of life, you feel more like sitting in the middle of your lesson. So you have to have this panopticon look at your life on a life scale, actually, when you're having an analysis. That's also why I record it every time. Normally, you also have it here, and we can do some extra. Okay, your life purpose is being a master of love and connectedness. Nice. So you have this inner drive. You will be very, very happy when you have the ability to connect people through this loving act of connecting them. And the big challenge here is that if you can bring the capacity of connecting others to bring it into your own life, so you connect yourself with everybody on this deeper level. And that makes
you're gonna have to say it twice so it really gets in. It's funny how there's something and you're like,
yeah. It is normally like that. That's also why I'm recording it, because people are something say who, say what did you say? My life purpose was and sometimes people Skype goes off because people just need a little break, and then we connect again, and then we continue. But you have this, and I mean it fits perfectly with what you do. You have this really ability to connect other people with each other.
It feels like it's beyond the videos. That's what's happening. It puts in touch people from all around the world with their own family, their own soul group, and to connect.
Yeah, and the big challenge for you is to do exactly the same for yourself.
That's the one I'm having a hard time to hear.
Yeah, I know. All right. And it could also be because now I will speed this a bit up. Normally I have 45 minutes an hour with people, so we and I promised you that we will do a longer session with you. But it could also be that you can't hear it because your life lesson, or where you go every time you want to grow, is that you go into some kind of unworthiness of boundaries. There is something with and I want to say that when you have a life lesson, it's not that there's something you're terribly bad at. It's that you have an unbalance there. Yeah. That you find a hard time to set the borders, and you find it a hard time to feel your own worth. So if we take the worthiness first, either you overgo, I mean that you kind of say, oh well, it doesn't matter, I want to go to the beach. Kind of this energy, or you undergo, you apologize, or you kind of change your personal self to please others. And the border thing is very much about the guilt thing is very much about not letting, if you're low on the finger, letting people treat you poorly. God, I can see I mess it a bit up. No. But the baseline,
let's go back.
Yeah, the baseline is that when we feel unworthy of boundaries, there's something about our inner worth that we cannot see. We cannot actually see the value of our what we grow. And if we have a hard time saying, okay, I end here, you start there, then it's also very hard for us to have this clear boundary around ourselves, where our passion is very written in stone. So when we get clear of this, when we actually, I know you go there and have worked there a lot over lifetime. And that's the same with the schools. When we go there, we become a capacity there. So you actually have the ability to become a very passionate mentor for others, because you have worked around your own. Where does my passionate heart bang? Where do I have the courage to commit and not let a door stand open for another solution of life? Or yeah.
Very good.
Very, very short and a bit.
No, this is exciting, and I'm thrilled to go in deeper depth on another session, so we can really dig into it. Because obviously, there's maybe some things too that you would like to say outside of the camera. I don't know. We'll see how it all unfolds. It makes a difference when there's the camera on too. And but thank you for playing the game of the camera today, and so that we can go inside a session and see what it's like. Thank you. It's exciting.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, very much.
Much love, my beautiful co-creators from Copenhagen. Bye.